Pirates had infected the seas for generations. So I vowed to eliminate them all. And then there was this boy, Jack Sparrow. Follow him in! He took everything from me and filled me with rage.
The dead have taken command of the sea. They're searching for Pearl, a girl, and a sparrow.
I have heard stories of a mighty Spanish captain whose son had been killed. Thousands of men.
No, men, no. No. Pirates. Pirates.
I once knew a Spaniard named something in Spanish.
He's coming for you, Jack.
Where's your ship? Your crew? Your pants?
Jack!
I'm so sorry, were you still talking?
There's nowhere to hide. Find Sparrow for me.
From this moment on, we are to be allies.
Considering where your left hand is, I'd say we're more than that.
Oh, monkey.
I'm not looking for trouble.
What a horrible way to live.
You will pay for what you did to me.
The men on that ship are looking for Jack, so I'm going to swim for it.
Carina, stop that.
No, don't stop there.
This has gone far enough.
No, it has not.
I saw her ankles.
You'd have seen a lot more if you kept your cake hole shut.
Keep it going for these guys. Come on, Pirates. Talk about Pirates. I don't know if you guys heard about this franchise.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Guys, how does it feel to be a part of this franchise? And did you see the first ones? I mean, tell me a little bit about the experience before you got the roles.
You go first.
Yeah, well, I saw the first one when I was about 14 at home in Cairns. Not at home, at the cinemas. But I remember what excited me and kind of scared me at the time was the Moonlight Effect when Geoffrey Rush comes out from under the stairs with the Black Pearl and turns into a skeleton with the moonlight. And I remember loving it and seeing, and thinking there'd been nothing that had done that, attempted to do that so far in cinema. And it was exciting because every movie had that sense of something new and fresh to it. We were seeing, the cutting edge of CGI technology every movie. So it was a really cool thing to kind of bring back and to be a part of this fresh one.
Yeah, I was 13, so same sort of thing. Grew up watching the movies. I remember it's what everyone was talking about at school, and they were like excited about it and discussing it, and I wanted to know what this thing was, and I went and I kind of just remember really believing in the fantasy world and enjoying that experience of just going to the cinema and immersing yourself completely in something just crazy for a couple of hours.
Yeah. And how was it to read the script for the first time? Did it feel like you were going to be part of this franchise, part of the saga?
For me, it was terrifying because I had to sign on before reading a script, which is like petrifying to me. Right. But I had deep conversations with the directors, and I was reassured that this would be a well-rounded female character and that she would be integral to the story and that she isn't a damsel in distress or just a love interest. So when I got to read it, I was really relieved. I was actually really kind of happy with her. Yeah. We had a couple talks, made a few changes, but then I was definitely excited about it after reading it.
Yeah. How about you, Brenton?
Mate, I don't know if I read a full script. I mean, this thing was changing constantly.
Right.
During production, we would get new scenes all the time. Colors of the rainbow that you didn't even know existed would pop up in your trailer. Yeah. But originally, I remember reading my character had a really strong through line throughout the movie, which was, basically trying to find the key that will unlock his father's servitude aboard the Dutchman. So that rang true throughout every script. So it was kind of it was a nice connection to my character.
Yeah. And to have Orlando Bloom play your dad, how was that? Bill Turner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, apparently they went out to Daniel Day-Lewis, but he wouldn't do it. You know. It was great, man. You know, he's a character that I really connected to as a young kid in the first movies, and we see him, you know, fighting for love, doing the right thing. You know, also fighting to free his father. So it was kind of an honor to play Eterno and to be doing the same things.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, what kind of research did you do, and you know, to what women were going through in the 17th century? I mean, what was that like? You know, to sort of dive in there.
Yeah, I mean, I did a general kind of search of what it would have been like, because when we find Carina in the opening scenes, she is an orphan and she's being accused of being a witch because she's very intelligent. And God forbid a woman be intelligent in the 17th century. And she's an astronomer and a horologist, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. So I looked up a bit. I wanted to be comfortable using the timepieces and stuff like that. So I researched a tiny bit. But I only had like 3 weeks between getting the part and then moving my life to Australia for 6 months. So I kind of needed to focus on that.
And it takes 3 weeks to get to Australia as well.
It does,
so,
yeah.
You know.
So for me, I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to research astronomy and stuff like that. Yeah. But I did do a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and what's it like to step? I mean, Jerry Bruckheimer, he's notorious for his sets, for his practical effects. I mean, what's it like to step on a Bruckheimer set? Tell us about that.
Well, what was great about this one is that they really merged the practical with the post-production work. We were really lucky in this one because we had so much available stimulus in the sets. You know, we could really envisage being there because we were there, you know. Even at the bottom of the ocean doing a fight scene, you know, amongst coral and fish and crazy creatures. They really spent the time and effort in makeup creating these characters, and the costumes looked fantastic, and the set pieces were very intricate, so we were lucky that we didn't have to create too much that wasn't already there.
Yeah.
He also throws a great party at the beginning of filming, which is good because you always have a wrap party, which is down the line, everyone's exhausted, they want to go home, and Dave from costume gets a bit too drunk and embarrasses himself. But Jerry does an opening party, which I think is a great idea because everyone kind of relaxes and goes, okay, we're going to be stuck around each other for 6 months. We should like maybe chat beforehand, something that isn't to do with work. And everyone's just really excited and in a good mood. And it's a great vibe to then go on to set the next week because you feel like you've met everyone. It doesn't feel like the first day of school so much.
Yeah. So the first experience meeting Johnny Depp, he is in the Jack Sparrow costume.
No, it was a table read. He was normal. But it's like you were saying, and you made me notice it, he had the gold teeth in. So it was like he was slowly becoming Jack Sparrow.
He was putting on the layers slowly.
Yeah. I mean, acting with him in a scene as Jack Sparrow, I mean, what's that experience like after seeing him in the movies, you know?
Well, I think my first scene with Jack Sparrow is the scene where I noticed he's not wearing any pants. And so I remember thinking...
So your eyes have to...
Yeah, I remember thinking, just keep it above the waist, keep it above the waist. But also, I remember thinking, I don't think this has happened before. You know, this is a fresh, new moment. It's a funny gag. We were given a lot of exposition and, you know, plot to play. But I remember having a lot of fun, and, you know, of course, Johnny was improvising. You know, every scene was a different experience. Every take, sorry. Yeah. So it was fun.
Was there anything that was left on the cutting room floor that you can share that was like particularly hilarious? You wish that made it in?
Johnny's pants. Yeah. Johnny's pants.
How about you, Kay?
Yeah, he's a master, you know. He's an incredible actor, and to get to be around that all day is awesome. Yeah. You guys see the one take that makes it into the movie, and we see the 55 others that get dirtier and weirder and stranger the more he goes on, and it's wonderful just to get him to watch him work, and especially as Jack Sparrow. I think I was definitely much more starstruck by Jack Sparrow than I was by Johnny, because it is such an iconic character, and he's just fun. It's fun to watch him be drunk. It's really good.
I mean, talking about great actors, Geoffrey Rush as Barbossa, I mean, he is so great. I mean, what's it like working with him and sort of building that relationship there?
Well, the great thing about Barbossa is that the character has such a history with Jack Sparrow, and to see those two actors work in the same scene is mesmerizing. You know, it's like you're in a rare Shakespearean play, watching these guys work and improvise, and you know, find new moments that did not exist in the script. You know, it's hard to do that because you're in the back of shot, just kind of trying not to laugh or, trying to remember what you were trying to play. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and working with Geoffrey Rush, what was that like for you?
Yeah, he's really generous with his time, which is cool. He's been playing this character for 13 years now. You'd think that he knows him inside out and he wouldn't want to do any pre-production work, but he really did. He sat me down, we went through every scene, we worked out every beat we wanted to hit. And he's also great that he kind of works in a similar way as me, that he doesn't like to over-rehearse. He'll kind of be spontaneous and subtle. And it was interesting working with him because he is such a big presence as well. And he's eccentric and wonderful. He's very cool.
Yeah, we don't want any spoilers, obviously, but was there any favorite scenes? Was there any favorite stunts you guys get to execute there on set?
I mean, my favorite stuff was on the Black Pearl doing stunts, doing the huge fight scenes where most of the characters were involved in the scene. We had a scene where Carina's at the wheel and she's basically, trying to sail us into the Devil's Triangle, which is an area where we're going to find this treasure. And there's so many moving parts. Johnny's fighting Javier, Geoffrey's fighting someone, doing something. I'm trying not to get stabbed by many people. And they're kind of, the energy of those scenes were most exciting for me to shoot.
For me, the last day was awesome because it had been such a long shoot and a hard shoot and people were tired and we got to, for the final week of shooting, we flew up as like a family, the whole crew and cast. We got a plane and we went up to Hamilton Island in the north. Yeah, where the Great Barrier Reef is. And it was incredible. It was like we were suddenly on vacation together. And the final scene we shot was sunset, running across this beautiful white deserted beach with Johnny and Geoffrey and us together. And it was kind of magical that was the very last moment of filming. They literally said, you can do this once because we can't reset the sand. Go for it. It was, yeah.
I can imagine a tourist, panning with a camera, just seeing deserted islands of the Great Barrier Reef, and then panning to a beach with 100 pirates and Johnny Depp and Barbossa.
That sounds like a great ride. They should turn that into a ride there in Australia, yeah. I mean, talking about that orchestration, I mean, is that Monkey actually running around? The Monkey is pretty much, he's a star as well.
Monkey's awesome. Yeah. 2 monkeys, Pablo and Chiquita. And they wear diapers. And they have little costumes. And they get very bad seasickness. And they vomit a lot.
Yeah.
There's a whole outtake reel of just the monkey throwing up in the middle of scenes. It's really funny.
Brenton, any interactions with the monkey or keep your distance?
I kept my distance, mate. I mean, if you look closely enough, you can see that in the one scene that I have with Geoffrey and the monkey, I'm leaning as far back as I possibly can.
It's so good. I mean, there's so many great actors. There's great Australian actors. I mean, the cast is incredible. I mean, talking about the new big bad, the Javier Bardem, I mean, is he as terrifying on set as he is on screen, as he ends up?
No, he's lovely.
Yeah?
I think he's an absolute gentleman. He's one of my favourite people I've met in this industry. He's a family man. He loves his kids. He loves his wife. He loves his craft and his art, but he also is fun. He wants to enjoy it. And he did a bunch of stuff in Australia. He went to Byron Bay, and he was like, he wanted to experience it and do things. I really, really liked him.
Yeah. Get to hang out with Javier as well, Brenton?
Yeah, he's fantastic, mate. We had a scene at the beginning of shooting, I want to say in the first month, somewhere in there, where my character Henry is discovering he's entered the Devil's Triangle, and in that, Javier and his crew board our ship and basically, attack our crew.
Things don't end up well for the rest of the crew.
Things do not end up well.
That, yeah.
And he comes down and we have a face-to-face scene, and I remember thinking, I've seen great villains out of this guy, in a few movies. I wonder what he's going to do with this one. And during that scene, I was just shocked. I was kind of surprised, excited. I found like a new passion for the movie, knowing that the villain's going to be so hectic. And he spat lots of black ink on my face, which was great.
He's got the stuff pouring out of his face, so that was actually happening while you guys were filming.
That was happening while we were filming, yeah. My makeup artist would be on standby.
You're the wipe down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cut would be wipe, and wipe Action.
I mean, talking about those fight sequences and everything like that, you guys had, sword fights. I mean, you guys train up for that? Did they have guys at least throw around a couple sticks and prepare for the fight sequences?
I kind of just did a bit of general training, which I hated because I hate working out. Just to physically be able to shoot a movie for 6 months, it takes a lot of stamina. So I did a bunch of that, and then swimming lessons because I have a whole bit where I have to swim through the ocean, and that wasn't fun. It was really hard.
Fun, come on, Kaya. It was
sharks and shit.
There's no sharks. There's ghost sharks.
It's Australia.
I did a little bit. I did 2-3 weeks worth of training before the movie started. Sword play. I had a few specific fight scenes that I had to rehearse before shooting them, just so they're more meticulous and a little bit more like choreography, as opposed to the Black Pearl fight scenes, which are more loose and a little bit more general. So I had a couple of weeks to a month worth of,
Well, you guys are both stylishly dressed today, but what was it like wearing what you guys were wearing, the 17th century garb for a few months? Any looks that you liked? Any looks that you didn't like?
It was horrible. It was horrible. I had to wear high heels. I had to wear high heels on the boat.
There was a day, I'm in a full corset. I've been in for 6 months. My ribs had moved to fit into this corset. These stupid little kitten heels. Yeah. And there was a day on the boat where Johnny went, "Oh, my boots have got little heels on them. They're killing my back." And all the pirates started discussing how painful it was wearing their little cha-cha heels. Oh, no. And I was stood there like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? So I had a bet with the camera crew that I was going to make them all wear corsets on the last days. They'd know what I'd been through for 6 months, and they didn't do it. No.
Geoffrey Rush did it.
Oh, no, he did.
He did.
Well, to save that for the next movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do you guys see, responding to your characters at first, obviously, like, have you fallen for your characters as well? Do you want to see what happens to them next? Do you know what happens to them next after this film?
I think it'd be fun to see what they get up to. I think especially for me, she has this new identity by the end of the movie. And I'd like to see what she wants to do with that.
Yeah, Henry is really chasing the one thing throughout this whole movie. It'd be nice to see him explore with, the relationship with Carina, with his parents, and also go on the road with Jack Sparrow would be fun again.
Yeah, I mean, Australia. Did you guys get to have any fun in between the shoots? I mean, you had that. You visited the reef, but did you guys do anything else fun in Australia?
Yeah, it was great. I loved Australia, and the people were really nice. I have a cousin that lives there, so I got to hang out with her a bunch, and I found secret waterfalls in the mountain, and good food and good beer. That's pretty much all I need.
That's it. That's the life in Australia. Yeah. Secret waterfalls, good food, good beer.
Are they playing that triumphant Hans Zimmer music while you guys are doing the scenes, or does that come in post? Because I feel like I
had it in my head. Yeah, it's weird.
I wish they did. Just off camera. There's like a whole orchestra.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw the film on the big screen for the first time, I mean, what was that experience like for you?
Well, I mean, I remember thinking how amazing the music was. It's something that doesn't really drive the scene when you're doing it. I wish I researched the music or had a sense of it at the time of shooting the scenes, because when you watch a movie like this, you realize it's such a huge part of driving the story. I mean, I kind of was shocked at how quickly it moved. For a long feature film, it felt like, an action-packed short film, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's epic. You see the Disney logo come up at the beginning, and you're like, wow, I am actually in a Disney movie. That's really cool. And for me, like, my 14-year-old self was just really excited about it. I got to watch it with my family, which is nice, and my friends and stuff. So, but Brenton's right, the technology is the best part for me, and I think that's why, this is the kind of movie you want to see on the big screen, because it really makes it. This is how it's supposed to be seen. The technology is there for a reason, and it works. It definitely works.
Have you guys been back to the iconic Pirates of the Caribbean ride now? Been in Disney?
Never been to Disneyland.
You've never been to Disneyland?
No, I keep asking someone to take me.
Well, you don't know anybody, obviously.
No one will take me.
Disney.
I'll take you.
Brenton's going to take me to Disneyland, just because he's sick of having to hear me say I've never been to Disneyland.
I'll take her to Disneyland just so she shuts up,
But you've been. You've been on the ride.
Yeah, I've been. I've been to the one in Shanghai, Paris, and to the one in LA recently.
Now you're just rubbing it in her face.
Yeah. And the one in Disney World, and the one in...
But have you been on the Pirates ride?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
You guys should have been there when Johnny did his little pop out. You
I
guys
wish
saw
I
the
was,
video of
mate.
that? That was crazy, right? Yeah.
I wish I was. And what's more, I wish we could pop out. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That's fine. I mean, for how young you guys are, you've had such a long career so far. I mean, what do you guys want to do next? Start, Brenton. You know, what's coming up for you? What do you want to do next?
Well, at this stage, I'm attached to a bunch of different projects that need a little bit more money. You know, international funding, something else probably that I don't know of. And these kind of movies are great because they give you the exposure that you need for those smaller companies, production companies, to say, okay, we can afford to put Brenton in the movie. So while I would love to do, you know, another Pirates and another movie like this with that blockbuster scope, it affords us to do those passion projects that don't have the budget that this one has. So I think I'm kind of just looking at, you know, getting the few that I'm already attached to do financed, and hopefully maybe a few other passion projects that have been in my head for a while.
How about you, Kay? What's coming up?
Yeah, similar. I have a bunch of friends that are super talented and that are women and that are incredible directors and producers and writers, and I want to put them together and have this little female crew of creatives and see what we can come up with back home in England and London. And Brenton's right, you know, that's why we do the big ones so that we can do the little ones and make them as good as they can be.
Yeah. Is that the first franchise you've been a part of? I mean, people would be upset if I didn't mention Maze Runner. I mean, do you still stay in touch with that crew?
I'm filming with them. I'm going to see them next week. Yeah, I mean, they actually helped me get the part. I was filming in Albuquerque on Scorch Trials when I had the self-tape come through. And they were like, you need to do this now. Get a camera, get someone to read with you. So I had all the boys read all the different parts. Thomas Brody Sangster is a very good Jack Sparrow.
That's good to know. I mean, can you give us anything about the next one, the next Maze Runner? What can people
it's awesome.
expect?
We're shooting in Cape Town at the moment. And it's, you know, we're just really wanting to wrap up the story as well as we can. This is a rescue mission movie. And the action sequences are absolutely insane. It's going to be cool.
Can't wait. So you've already read through the script. You've already done that.
We're nearly finished. I literally have 2 days left to shoot, and then we're done.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for that, and I can't wait for the next one of these. But we have some questions in the audience first, so we're going to go right there.
Hi, my question's for Kaya.
Hey.
I'm a huge fan.
Thanks.
I was wondering if you preferred your roles in this movie and in Maze Runner rather than your more realistic role in Skins.
I don't think you ever prefer a role. You know, I try and incorporate every character in the most honest way I can, whether it's on a big budget movie or on a tiny little indie or on a TV show in Bristol. I think you have to go into it with the same respect and the same work ethic and focus and all those things. I loved playing Effie. I really did. She's an important person to me and she's very special to me. But that was then, and I kind of like that we are moving on now to different characters.
Thank you.
Yeah, next question.
Hi. First of all, thank you both for coming here today on this beautiful New York day. My question is for you, Brenton. You've done so many things in your career, from Maleficent to The Giver to Son of a Gun to Pirates of Caribbean or Caribbean, because there's like a debate going on.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? What do you
I
guys
don't know.
say?
I've heard
Caribbean.
both. I think it's Caribbean, but I don't know.
It's an ongoing argument.
Yeah. So, on this film, anyway, do you think you'll ever go back to doing some TV shows or maybe even theater or work on your music or?
I would love to. I actually had a meeting yesterday with the New York branch of my agency in regards to theater. You know, trying to find a cool play to do, because I would love to reconnect with how I trained, which was in theater. I think theater, you know, on a movie like this, you're not really acting a lot of the time. You know, it's quick bursts, and then you're back to your trailer, and then you wait around for an hour or two. You know, I play guitar, read, get bored, eat. But with theater, there's really for actors, it's great because you're doing it all the time. You know, you're rehearsing 10 hours a day, and then you're performing at night, and it's just I feel like that provides an education that film doesn't provide. You know. For your instrument, your voice, your craft. So I would love to do that. In terms of TV, I would love to do TV also. It's kind of I think we pick our film roles and our TV roles. I'm not speaking from experience, but from, you know, talking to Kaya and other friends of mine. It's the same way, you know, if a character inspires you and you're working with great filmmakers or filmmakers that are now working in TV. It just feels right. Yeah. I don't think the days of TV and movies are kind of blending into one now, I love this because it's huge and it's blockbuster and it's massive in scope and it's exciting to watch, but the chance to be with an audience for hours and hours of TV would be really cool.
We have time for one last question.
Hello. Brenton, for working with big actors such as Jeff Bridges and now Johnny Depp, who else in your career that you will love to work with? And for Kaya, for being in 2 big franchises now, are there any other franchises you will like to be in the future?
I'd like to be in a Bond movie, but be the one that kills Bond and doesn't have to sleep with him.
That's funny, because I would like to play Bond in a Bond movie. Two actors coming to my mind right now are Mark Ruffalo and Mark Rylance. So those 2 Marks.
Well, you guys should definitely check out Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean. Dead Man Tell No Tales, May 26th. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.